Hey everybody, Coach Troy here. Now, recently I did get a little small lot of Atari games, and a couple of them in there are not exactly known to be the greatest games of all time. A little bit of a bad reputation. But it got me thinking, the other day I did play we went over Pac-Man. Pac-Man is one of the worst remembered games of all time. But had it been any other game, I think it would have been acceptable and probably even praised for being a good Pac Man clone. It just got such a bad rap because it had that title behind it. I figured I would try these games out and see, are they as bad as we remember them being? Or maybe they just got a bad rap because they had such a prestigious IP behind them. Anyway, let's check out today's and see if it's really as terrible as we remember. So we've got Zaxxon here. Now Zaxxon's a little bit crazy because it's a game made by Sega on the Atari, and this particular version is made by everyone's favorite Coleco. So, a lot of different names going into this game. How could it possibly go wrong, right? Well, what made Zaxxon in the arcades so big and popular was that isometric view. As a 3D game, you're going up, down, left, right, as well as forward through space shooting things. Now, they weren't exactly able to do that in the Atari version here. Really, all you had was a straight on view. Other things were similar. They had your enemies, kind of basic looking, I'm pretty sure, but they did have different enemies, and you had to keep an eye on your fuel. You actually had to shoot the fuel barrels to resupply. Kind of crazy, but hey, I guess that's Atari logic for you. So obviously they're not going to be able to do it as well as the arcade, and so it's not going to. If you're comparing it to that, yeah, there's absolutely no way this game is going to seem any good. So I'm going to try to completely ignore that and just look at this game, shoot enemies, and we're going to find that evil Zaxxon robot and try to destroy him. All right. Looking through the manual, there's just 4 different difficulty settings, just making it a little harder and faster as you go. So, anyway, on to the game. Let's check it out. All right. Oh, there's a horrible background noise when this thing starts. Oh, okay. Not a great start. We'll do better. We will do better. I wonder if that noise at the beginning was from the cart itself, or is that just how the game is? I don't know, anyone else play this game? Is there a weird, normal, horrible noise? Looking at my enemies here, okay, that looks like a Kakuna from Pokemon. But that thing just looks like a backwards green-robed wizard. Is that a thing? I just kind of go side to side here. I don't get the turning of the wings anymore like I did. Now I got movement again. Now the plane can actually move around. How nice. Whoa, what am I glitching out for here? Oh. Because that's a force field. That's why I'm glitching. Okay. Oh man, how the hell? Alright, level 1, here we go. I could not handle the intensity that was level 2, so. See, those green ones there look like actual enemies you would see. These other ones, though, like, again, that looks like a hornet-faced thing. But yeah, it is really hard to tell just how high up in the air they are. Alright, free space. Stop running away from me. I want to shoot you. Alright, back to 4-directional movement. But I need some gas. Yeah, it's so hard to tell where they're at. Oh, man. I mean, it's not ridiculously impossible, but it still is way harder than it should be to try to figure out. Am I on the same plane? Ah. Oh, look at that. The vicious Zaxxon. Look at this thing. Ah, come on. I gotta get underneath that missile. There it is. Haha. I got him. I got him. Now, this is where it's important to read the manual because it's very specific where you got to hit him. I think I tried beating him 5 times before and I kept dying. When just testing it out. And, I'm about to be out of gas. I mean, I guess you want points, but really going for a lot of these... So yeah, going for a lot of these enemies is kind of pointless. So there you have it. It was not as bad as I was expecting, I guess, or as people were saying. I mean, yeah, it's obviously, it's not isometric like that. It's not as good. The graphics are extremely simple, I think, maybe even by some of the Atari standards. I didn't think the enemies, what were they shaped as? Only a couple of them actually look like alien spaceships. There were the radars in there. There were the fuel barrels. Those were cool. But the other ones, I'm not sure what the heck they were supposed to be. The Zaxxon was there. You were able to destroy the giant robot. Yeah, I just had to re-look at the manual to see exactly where you were supposed to shoot that thing. I thought I was shooting it at first, but apparently you got to hit the exact right spot, and that's where the altitude comes into play for that particular spot. And yeah, the altitude. It was just too hard to tell where the enemies were. I think that was a big problem. Didn't know where the enemies were. It was just kind of blah to me. I don't know. It wasn't particularly fun. So, I mean, looking at it, it's not as bad as a lot of people say. It's not the absolute worst thing. Another YouTuber, Retro Game Lore, I think he told me that the only way that this thing would even be of any value is if it was broken or not working. I don't know. I thought that was hilarious, but it's not that torturous to play. It's not great by any means. I would never say that this is a good game. There's definitely much, much, much better games on the Atari. I wouldn't put this thing high at all. So, but it's not as bad as I think we remember. Not great. Don't get me wrong. Not great, but I won't be clamoring to play this again anytime soon. I think I might pull it out if I've played everything else plenty of times. What do you think, Opal? Then I might check it out again, but I definitely won't be. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I got better stuff to play. So, not quite as bad as we remember, but it's definitely not good. All right, what do you think? Is it actually that terrible, or is it not bad? Maybe I'm misjudging it, something I'm missing. Anyway, this is Coach Troy. I'll see y'all next time.
Thanks for joining me as I start my journey into the world of retro gaming. If you're interested in my other hobbies of fitness or board games, check out my other channel. Anyways, this is Coach Troy. I'll see y'all next time.